Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. We are on Minecraft.net. There is an article about this new release for Java Edition 1.13.2. It says, got the Monday blues, don't worry, we're releasing a 1.13.2, a small release to address a few performance issues and upgrade issues left over from 1.13.1. There were two pre-releases leading up to this one, and I believe that most of these bugs were from the first pre-release, which got fixed in the second, and now they're ready to push out the major update. It also says, we hope this got you covered until Wednesday when we'll release the first snapshot of 1.14, the Village and Pillage update. So to make it very clear, this update has none of that new content we've seen recently for 1.14. This is just bug fixes and performance issues. So on Wednesday here on the channel, I will be covering that snapshot when it comes out and making a video about it and all the new content. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch that. The first performance improvement is for the upgrading of worlds. I have an old world here from a pre-1.13 version, and there is this feature inside the edit menu to optimize the world. This will go through the whole of the world and get it ready to be played in 1.13, so it doesn't have to be done on the fly. What's not clear though is if the optimization is only for this feature or if it applies to doing it on the fly as well. If you played a lot of Minecraft 1.13, you'll know that logging into worlds and servers, there's this strange hang when you log in, there's a hang when you log out as well. The game just takes a lot of time. You can see logging in there, pretty snappy, back to normal basically, and logging out is really fast as well. So that's fantastic because those bugs were really annoying and I'm glad to see them get cleared up. It is also said that the performance of turtle pathfinding has been improved. I've got no idea how I would test this myself. I did notice when I come to this area, after the prank with all the turtles set free, sometimes the server would get a little bit herky-jerky with all of these guys swimming around, so hopefully we'll see that deceased, although at the moment it seems to be just fine. I'm glad to hear this next bug has been fixed. We actually encountered it ourselves when trying to update from 1.12 to 1.13 on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. As you can see here, we've got some chunk borders displayed, and the bug was quite simple to understand really. If you had chests on a chunk border or a double chest going through a chunk like this, when updating from 1.12 to 1.13, these chests would lose their contents. And that is a really nasty bug because there's a good chance that you'll place a chest in the world in one of these positions next to a chunk border. So that's been taken care of. Now when you update your worlds, the chests are going to keep the items. This next change to the game is going to be a wonderful one in terms of performance. What we're looking at right now are mobs spawning and then despawning instantly because where they have chosen to spawn, they are more than 128 blocks away from the player. I have another player in the world up there in the sky and I am in spectator mode. So I'm going to move the other player downwards a little bit, and then what we should start to see is that the mobs actually stay here. Okay, it seems that position there is where the other player is directly above, and that's because they're within 128 blocks now. If I start to move further downwards, you can see that the mobs are now actually staying around here because they're within range of a player, and then when I move upwards, they start to despawn. Now, the problem here should be pretty obvious, that every time the game has to spawn these mobs and instantly despawn them, that is going to be taxing on performance. We are now in 1.13.2 and we've got a few creatures that have spawned in this middle area because they are in range of the player up the top. But for all the ones that aren't, you can see they're no longer instantly spawning and despawning. Now if I take the other player and I move it upwards, they're all going to disappear because they're out of range, and then if I move down generously, we'll see they start to spawn all over the place again. Now this could have a massive effect on the game. It could be up to 50 times better at performing this task of spawning mobs because it doesn't have to spawn and then instantly despawn them. So we should see some really big performance gains from this one. I've been reading the Reddit and it sounds like these changes to how mobs spawn, which applies to mobs like the COD here, will fix a problem with COD that we've seen on the Hermitcraft server, and lots of players are reporting that they start to use up a lot of the game's calculation, and that's because when they spawn and then instantly despawn, they still try to do a bunch of calculations as to where they're going to pathfind to and how they're going to group up with CODs. So if you're standing on the land and there's an ocean 128 blocks away from you, those CODs are constantly spawning and then despawning and then doing loads of taxing calculations, so that shouldn't happen anymore. And with all of that now covered, there really isn't anything else to say. If you'd like to check out the article I showed at the beginning of the video, there'll be a link to it in the description. But that's it from me this video, so if you enjoyed it, leave a like, it makes a difference here on the channel, and as always, that difference is appreciated, so thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye bye!